Hello everyone and welcome back to another video in our data visualization series using Plotly. In the previous video, we explored how to create line chart from basic to advanced, including adding multiple lines, interactivity tooltips, and animation. If you haven't watched that one yet, I highly recommend checking it out. Now today in this video, we are going to focus on bar charts. Bar charts are one of the most commonly used visualization in data analysis. They are extremely helpful when you want to compare different categories based on the numerical values. So today we will walk through the how to create different types of bar charts using the plotly.express library in Python. We will start with a simple vertical bar chart, then move on to the horizontal bars, and finally customize our chart with colors and styles. So let's dive right in. We begin by importing the necessary libraries. Import pandas as PD. Here pandas is used to handle our datasets, and import plotly.express as px is the module we will use to create a bar plots. Now let's load our dataset and prepare it. So df equals to PD dot read underscore CSV function and path of the dataset. So here we read the weather dataset from CSV file. This dataset contains hourly weather information like temperature, humidity, and weather summary. Now let's calling df.head function will display the first few records and help you quickly verify that the data is loaded correctly. Before we plot the bar plot, we need to understand what exactly we want to visualize. So in this case, we aim to compare different weather conditions based on their average temperature. A bar chart is ideal for this because it allows us to easily compare values across categories. Now in our case, weather summary types such as a clear, mostly cloud, or a partly cloud. So however, the dataset contains the many individual temperatures records for each weather summary. So plotting them directly wouldn't make sense. To solve this, we calculate the average temperature for each unique weather summary. So this gives us a clear and concise value for each category. So which we can then visualize in the bar chart. For example, what is the average temperature when it's mostly cloud or clear? We will group the data by the summary column and compute the mean temperature for each groups. Summary underscore df equals to df dot group by function. Summary column name, and then in square bracket temperature C dot mean function and dot reset underscore index. So the group by function groups the data based on the summary column, and then we apply the dot mean function to calculate the average temperature, and the reset underscore index function is used to convert the result back to a data frame so we can plot it easily. Now let's write the code to create our first bar chart. Fig equals to, here we begin by using the px.bar function to create a vertical bar chart, and the summary underscore tf is the data frame is passed in the data source, which contain the each weather summary type and its corresponding average temperature. and the x equals to summary parameters means the weather summary category will be displayed along the x-axis. So this could include like clear, mostly cloud, and so on. And the y equals to temperature C parameter set the height of each bar based on the average temperature for that summary. And the title equals to average temperature by weather summary. It's add a descriptive title at the top of the chart to make the plot easily understandable. And finally, we call quick.show function to render the chart. So this will display the vertical bar plot in your browser or a notebook in environment. If everything is set up correctly, you should see a simple yet informative chart that compares the average temperature across different weather conditions. So it's an effective way to get a quick visual summary of how temperature varies with the weather types. Now let's run this code. You can see a vertical bar chart is created showing the average temperature for each weather summary category. So however, if there are too many categories, the x-axis labels may become cluttered or hard to read. So in such a case, a horizontal bar chart can improve readability. Now let's move on to the next plot, the horizontal bar chart. So while vertical bar charts work well in many situations, they can become visually cluttered when category names are long or there are too many of them. So in such case, a horizontal bar charts provide a better readability by aligning the category labels vertical along the y-axis. So this make it easier to read and interpret the data, especially when dealing with the text heavy categories or smaller display areas. Now to create a horizontal bar chart, we again use the px.bar function, but this time we switch the axis. Instead of summary on the x-axis and temperature C on the y-axis. So we now assign temperature C to the x-axis and summary to the y-axis. So this simple switch is complemented by adding the orientation equals to h parameter, which explicitly tells Plotly to render the bars horizontally. So these small changes significantly improve the clarity and usability of the chart when working with the large or descriptive category names. So it also help a viewer more easily scan the charts from top to bottom, which is often a more natural reading direction for categorical data presented in a ranked or a group format. Now let's run this code. Now you can see the horizontal chart is much cleaner and easier to read, especially if your data has many labels. Now let's move on to the final version, a customized bar chart with color and a stylish digit. So we will enhance the basic chart by adding color gradients and giving each bar a styled border. This customization not only make the chart more attractive but also help in a better visualizing variation in data. For instance, using color to represent temperature values allows viewers to quickly identify which category correspond to higher or a lower temperature, even without reading the exact numbers. So similarly, styled border around the bars help in separating the categories more distinctly, especially when a similar color are used. Let's now write the code for this advanced version. In this advanced version of the bar chart, we make use of additional parameter to increase the visualization and make it more insightful. First, we add the color parameter and assign it to temperature C. So this tells Plotly to color each bar based on its temperature value, which allow the viewer to immediately identify higher and the lower temperature just by glancing at the intensity of colors. Instead of all bars being the same color, now the color become a data queue itself. To further enhance this, we include a color continuous scale equals to viridis, which applies a gradient of color ranging from dark purple to bright yellow, commonly used for continuous numerical data. So these color scales not only make the chart visually appealing, but also make it easier to distinguish subtle differences between temperature values. To make the stand bar outs more clearly, we add a border around each one using the update trace function. Here we set a marker line width equals to 1.5 to make the border visible without overwhelming the design. And choose marker line color equals to black for strong contrast. So this border improve readability by clearly separating adjacent bars. So especially when the color values are close to each other. And all these enhancements together result in a much more expressive and professional looking bar charts that communicates both categorical and numerical differences at a glance. Now let's run this code. You can see the bars are now colored based on temperature, and each bar has a defined border. So this gives us a more polished and the engaged look to our chart. So that's it for today. In this video, we learn how to create a bar chart using Plotly Express. We started with a basic vertical bar chart, explored a horizontal bar chart for better readability, and finally created a customized bar chart with color gradients and style improvements. Bar charts are incredibly useful in comparing categories, and with Plotly, they become even more interactive and visually appealing. So I hope this tutorial was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.